Tennessee Children's Hospital, we know that time is precious, but some times are better than others. That's why we have 4 urgent care facilities with pediatric experts ready to get you back to better in no time.
Well, good morning. Happy Sunday. It's Sunday, isn't it? I got to get this advertisement up. We can't do that without the advertisement, right? Let me get this back up here for you. There we go. Happy Sunday, everybody. Sure hope you had a great weekend so far. If you haven't had a chance to see on social media, I got some big news to share with you here this morning. If you didn't see it on social media yesterday. So we're going to be talking much more about that. Got some great Witchers pictures to share with you, Witchers adventures as well. Of course, the forecast. Got your national holidays coming up as well, so strap in, grab your cup of coffee. This coffee mug is from the Rotary Club of Clinton. Had a chance to go out and visit the Rotary Club of Clinton. It was about 2 years ago, I guess. Anyways, they gave me a nice little mug. Got some nice cup of coffee in here. Got my son Kipton just sitting over there in the corner. Maybe he'll come and join us on the broadcast here before the morning's over. Are we heading off to church this morning? Have outdoor plans, hitting the lakes, hitting the swimming pools? What are we doing? Let's see. Tonight is the last night for Terror in the Woods. Kipton, you're not going to like that. Last night, I should say. Last night was Terror in the Woods. It was great. Beautiful weather. Time to restock my booth for the next market. Yes, indeed it is. And Lisa, you got some great photos I'm going to be sharing from your backyard in Seymour because you live in a beautiful part of East Tennessee. Good morning, Seth. How are you this morning? All right, so you saw the view probably from Fox Road Marina here at the very beginning. I'll get another view from that coming up here in just a second, but I want to show you a cool time lapse coming in from downtown Gatlinburg. Here's the deal. We saw those storms really billowing up across the mountains. If you lived in the valley, you could really see those happening. So watch this. You ready? Take a look. It was a nice quiet start to the day. Had a little bit of fog. Watch the tram that goes up to Ober. Up and down, 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 up and down. Here's the convection starting to get those clouds to build. The heat's building. Here we go. You're going to see some of these pretty cool thunderstorms really developing. And ready? Watch this. There's one. Here comes one. There's one right there. Look at that. I love watching time lapse of thunderstorms. It is like one of my favorite things. Then we got a nice little downpour in downtown Gatlinburg before the sun set last night. Live look in West Knoxville. That's Fox Road Marina. And had a chance to hit the lake for a couple of hours yesterday evening with the family and some friends. And the water was great. You know, the funny thing is this is probably one of the first times in a very long time that a school of fish just kept nibbling at us. So we had to kind of move. Like, quit nibbling. You know, you're like, ooh, ooh. It doesn't hurt. It just kind of catches you off guard. You're like, nah, I don't want that thing touching me. Like, I don't know. We had another friend that was just sitting there going, what? It's no big deal. My wife and I are sitting there like, are we just giant weenies? What's going on over here? Maybe we are. That's okay. All right, so over the last 24 hours, here's where we got the rainfall yesterday. Got Steven joining us from Texas this morning. Nice. All right, so the heaviest rain was across the plateau. We saw those thunderstorms, which, of course, we saw with our future cast up across the higher elevations where Pigeon Forge picked up 1/4 of an inch of rain. Gatlinburg picked up more than that. Saw over an inch of rain in some locations across parts of the Cumberland Plateau, and other locations, well, we just didn't see a whole lot of rainfall. So temperature-wise yesterday, let's check in on those numbers, shall we? Because I think I was forecasting, I was forecasting 90 degrees. No, let's get back. I was forecasting 90 yesterday. Come on, weather maps. Let's switch here. There we go. And yesterday we made it to 90 degrees, so not too bad. 85 in Crossville, 90 Chattanooga, 86 in Tri-Cities. 0.03 of an inch of rain officially in Cumberland County, 0.7 of an inch of rain in Chattanooga. So Chattanooga saw some pretty good, solid downpours. Lisa's getting ready for church. You can't leave yet, Lisa. I've got to share your photos because they're so good. Lisa's been really outdoing herself with the Witcher's Pictures link using the East Tennessee Weather app. So not much activity going on in the atmosphere right now. Again, everything's relatively quiet. We've got a little bit of fog out there this morning. We've got clear skies. It's a really nice start to the day. So if you want to hit the lakes, the pools, get out there this morning. Although yesterday turned out to be great. I was watching those to see if they would pop anything off in the valley, and they just never did. Temperatures this morning, as you step outside, you're going to notice a change. A little bit of a change. Just a skosh. We're in the 60s and 70s, which really is not much of a difference, but we are trending about 1 to 5 degrees warmer than what we were yesterday morning. All right, lunchtime temperatures are going to be in the mid-80s. Forecast highs back in the upper 80s to low 90s, so another solid average summer June 29th day. I cannot believe. I feel like I say this every day. And maybe it's just because I work every day. I don't know. And time is flying by. But it's already June 29th. Like July 4th is next Friday. And I have some good news for you. Wait till you see the 7-day forecast. We talked about it yesterday, but things are trending to be pretty darn awesome for the 4th of July. We're going to be in the upper 80s to low 90s. Heat index values today are going to be pushing the mid to upper 90s, maybe close to 100 degrees in some locations. And evening temperatures, watch out for a few thunderstorms as we kind of wind the evening down. If you're going to do some backyard grilling, obviously the sweat factor goes up. We're at 83 by 8, 78 degrees by 10. But if your grill's underneath some cover, as long as it's not in the direct sunlight, it's in the direct sunlight, it's going to be toasty, roasty as you do some grilling here later on tonight. All right, here's our future cast. We'll run you through the day today. Not much activity from now through noon. But as we get shortly past the lunch hour, we're going to start to see those afternoon showers and thunderstorms. Again, the Cumberland Plateau has the greatest chance for seeing some good solid downpours like yesterday. We'll start to see some afternoon thunderstorms developing across the mountains again. And this model's kind of picking up on maybe a couple of outflow boundaries, kicking off a few isolated thunderstorms in the valley. So this is my in-house model, okay? And so you're not going to find this on the web or anything like that. It is based off the NAM. For you weather nuts out there. Anyways, the heaviest rain's going to be in the plateau and the mountains. You can see maybe a couple of isolated thunderstorms developing across the mountains. But now I just wanted to show you this because it's food for thought. Listen, we're trying to forecast the future, right? Food for thought that this is the HRRR model. Much less coverage of rainfall. Much less coverage of rainfall. I do think that this has a good idea that the thunderstorms developing across the southern valley will happen. I'm not too confident that we'll see as much storms as I'm going to go more in line with this model. So prepare for more thunderstorms, but expect, I think, maybe less thunderstorms like yesterday. Let's just say that. But either way, slice it and dice it. We do have heavy rain on the way. And so once again today, the Weather Prediction Center has issued a level 1 risk for some localized flooding and flash flooding. So we saw that yesterday. We've seen that over the last several days. We've got a water-loaded atmosphere, and so that's just the nature of the game. Rain chances increase Monday and Tuesday and then fade away as we get into the weekend. I'm still throwing a 10 to 20% chance for an isolated storm Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Although, to be honest with you, I'm not too confident in that as of right now. We're just going to hang strong with that so far. If we need to take it fully out of the forecast, I will be glad to do that. But this really paints the picture. So we're really not expecting a whole lot of activity today. Heaviest rain probably across the southern plateau near Chattanooga, where we could pick up about a half an inch of rainfall for the day today. Less likely in the valley locations. But as I mentioned, Monday, Tuesday, we have a trough swinging on in. And that's going to elevate our rain chances and coverage. And so we could pick up a half an inch to an inch and a quarter of rainfall Monday and Tuesday. But watch this. All the way through Thursday, that doesn't change. All the way through Saturday, that doesn't change. So that's the story, right? I think we're going to be drying out. So when you look at your dew points, the dew points really surge ahead of this trough. We're going to be in the mid-70s. So it's going to be super tropical Monday, Tuesday with dew points in the mid-70s. Then the dew points start to come on down. And that's going to make for some, with that drier air in place, less chances for showers and thunderstorms, although still 60s and 70s for dew points is still muggy, but not as tropical as it's going to be today, tomorrow, and Tuesday. And without any major disturbances, as another ridge of high pressure building on in, I just don't think we're going to have a whole lot of rainfall. Now, with dew points near 70 on Saturday, that's still going to kick our heat index value pushing close to 100. So it is still going to be a very hot 4th of July. But I'll take the heat without the storms any day of the week to celebrate the 4th of July, to get out of the pools, into the lakes, to go celebrate and to watch the fireworks on the 4th of July. And it's nice because the 4th of July is on a Friday night. That's a win, right? That's a win. It's always hard when the 4th of July is on like a Tuesday night. And parents have to get up and go to work the next day. Here's your 7-day forecast as we look ahead. Scattered showers and thunderstorms today, tomorrow, and Tuesday. Isolated Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, but really minimal at best. I'm really inclined to take out the 20%, but we're going to hang strong with that as it stands right now. but a solid average, fairly average weather pattern on the way. We may be trending a little bit above average as we get into the first maybe week to 2 weeks of July. So the doldrums of summer may be upon us. You know, July and August can be extremely hot and extremely dry, and we may be trending on the drier side maybe for the first week of July. So that would be some good news to pass along. And, you know, listen, it's you can't win with weather, especially if you're a farmer, right? You get 2 inches of rainfall, you can't get your tractors out there. Then all of a sudden it dries up, and you're like, wait a second, now we need some rain. And I know all of the early spring rains, a lot of the farmers weren't able to get out there and plant or actually dig up. I saw a story that some of the potato farmers weren't able to dig the potatoes up. I think it was potatoes. Anyways, whatever it was. So, you know, it's kind of hit and miss. But listen, if you have a garden and you haven't had any rainfall, like Kipton, you need to go water the garden here this morning, right? Get the garden watered before the heat really starts to build throughout the day today. You got to keep those gardens watered for sure. Do you want to come say hi to everyone? No, not this morning. That's okay. You going inside? Tell the family I said hi. You're still trying to figure out how to get enough sleep with a baby? Yeah, well, good luck with that. It doesn't happen. I don't think that exists. Good morning, Miranda. How are you this morning? What's up, Julie? How are you? Happy Sunday to you. I've got some great Witchers pictures to share with you. So we're going to start with that before we get to the national holidays because I want to give a big shout out. I want to start you off with this one first. I want to give a big shout out to Kevin Knight. Okay, so that's his dog, by the way. A big shout out to Kevin Knight. This is Belario's Tuxedo in Hardin Valley. So I'm going to be in a wedding coming up here in like 60 days. It's in August. Actually, I'm going to be heading to a bachelor party in a couple weeks. But I'll still be broadcasting as best as I can. We're gonna be going to Nashville. Actually, we're gonna be hitting a professional soccer game. But anyways, I was out there getting fitted for the wedding, and I saw this dog, and that's not my picture; it's his picture, Kevin's picture. But I was like, "Oh my gosh, your dog is amazing!" I was like, he showed me a picture of his dog, and I said, "Listen, you've got to dress this dog up in a tuxedo. Your dog is like perfect." He goes, "Oh no, I do that." And so he showed it to me, and I was like, that is like the cutest. Hello, sir. What can I do for you today? I love that. Here's another great shot from the other day. This is a rainbow picture coming in. I believe this is Campbell County. This is Jennifer. She follows me on Instagram. So big shout out to Jennifer this morning. Nice little rainbow shot there. And we actually had a couple of other photos. So here's another rainbow view. This one, let's see if we can get a better perspective. There we go. That's a cool view. Get the American flag in there. Got to get the American flag in there, right? So this picture is coming in from April Spencer. Rainbow over Newport. This was on 6/28, so this was yesterday. So we had some pretty good thunderstorms there. As I mentioned, Lisa's backyard. Anybody want to go to Lisa's backyard? You want to go run some hills? Lisa, you live in a beautiful, beautiful part of East Tennessee. Absolutely picture perfect, gorgeous. And Felicia just shared us a photo. Andrea made a new friend at the market last night. Ooh, I don't know about this one. This is why we didn't go to that kind of stuff. We got some Freddy Krueger action going on. Of course, at the movie theaters, at Terror in the Woods, at Imes Nature Center, and the big market. So lots of stuff going on there. But, that's, funny thing is, Felicia, I'm not a big fan of scary movies at all. And so the whole Freddy Krueger thing is not my cup of tea whatsoever. Although as I've gotten a little bit older, I'm able to, I guess watch them a little bit more. I watched the movie It, and didn't think I was going to be able to. I stayed up by myself doing it one night. The whole family was asleep. My family's not going to watch those movies. I don't really like them, but I started watching. I was like, it's not really that scary. But when you're a kid, I just don't like that. I like suspenseful movies, not necessarily scary movies. All right, let's get to work with those national holidays. It's 8:17. I know a lot of you need to get off to church here today, but if any of you are going to be heading off to lakes today, we'll show you a live view in Fort Loudon Lake. Oh, got a little spider web stretching in from the camera. Let's push play on. Anyways, Fort Loudon Dam's right there off in the distance between the Spiderweb and the Eaves. And a nice little sunrise taking shape here this morning, which, of course, will show you what it looks like from Monroe County. That's KMNV. Beautiful General Aviation Day to get the day started, but may not last all day due to the fact that we have thunderstorms on the way. All right, here are your national holidays. Of course, we're always celebrating birthdays and events. Any events going on? Yeah, I'm with you, Eva. Not a huge fan. I like suspenseful movies. The ones that keep you on the edge of your seat, that will kind of scare you, but not scary, just like, suspenseful. Anyways, all right. Let's see. Cameron says, good morning from the best bus driver in Knox County. Tied with Miss Elise. For sure, Cameron. Happy Sunday. Anyone ever needs rides to church, I drive a church bus on Sundays. Grace Bible Baptist Church. Great. Cameron, that is fantastic, by the way. Thanks for sharing that with us. If you ever need a ride to church, give Cameron a holler. How do we get a hold of you, Cameron? You might want to put that in the chat. And we do have a big announcement coming up. I'm saving that for last, Julie, but a big announcement coming up if you've not seen this on social media yet. All right, it's National Darts Day. Anybody like to play darts? I love playing darts. Actually, we played some darts on my birthday when we celebrated my birthday with some friends. Love playing some darts. All right, I've always wanted a good solid dartboard in my house. I think we probably got a pretty good location that we could put it. The problem is you need to put I just don't want holes in my wall. And if kids get a hold of those darts, where there's going to be holes everywhere. One of the reasons why I've never put one up there. But we do have a pool table and a ping pong table that's kind of a combined. So I was like, a dartboard would be fun, but just haven't quite put it up yet. All right, it's National Almond Butter Crunch Day. I'm going to give a big shout out to that. I love almond butter crunch. I know it's got chocolate in it. I don't really like chocolate, but, listen, it's like almond roca is like one of my favorite. That and Heath bars, almond roca, Heath bars. I love that kind of stuff. It's National Waffle Iron Day. Funny story. I was just talking to my family not too long ago. I don't know. It was probably like a year ago, really, to be honest with you. Time flies. But I was talking to my family not too long ago, and, our waffle iron broke. My dad bought me this awesome waffle iron, which actually, it closes up. Like, it stands straight up. It doesn't sit like that one. It doesn't sit flat and horizontal. It sits vertical. And the cool thing about this one is you close it up, and then you pour the batter inside the top. And then once it starts to bubble up, you get like the perfect waffle. It's zero mess. It doesn't spill over. It was one of the best waffle makers ever. Mine broke. I reached out to my dad, and I was like, Dad, where did you find that waffle maker? He goes, dude, I cannot find that waffle maker anymore. But then again, I saw a waffle maker just the other day that I so badly wanted to purchase. My wife's like, we don't need that. I said, well, needs and wants, and I want it. It was a waffle maker where you could actually put like a cream cheese filling in the middle, and it sandwiched it together perfectly. I was like, come on. Who doesn't love like a cream cheese filled stuffed waffle with strawberries and cream, blueberries? I mean, come on. Still may purchase it. Maybe when we get our kitchen renovated, then I'll purchase it because we'll have a pantry to put stuff in. Our kitchen never really had a whole lot of storage, and so it was always like kind of busting out of the seams with that. And it's National Camera Day. Pull out your cameras, take a photo, and upload them to Witcher's Pictures using the East Tennessee Weather app, or share them on social media. But, what would we do without the camera? The camera has a huge evolution, especially since the cell phones came around, and the cameras keep improving on cell phones. I feel like sometimes my cell phone takes a better picture than a camera. Now, with that said, caveat to all of you photographers out there. I'm not saying I'm going to be better than you. That's not what I'm saying. A good, solid, classic, professional photo from a photographer is hands down always going to be better. But for us amateur photographers, the cell phone does a pretty awesome job, doesn't it? I think so. All right, let's take it to Hardin Valley here at this hour. Those are your holidays for the day today. Of course, don't forget, Wake Up with Witcher starts off at 6 o'clock in the morning. We're going to keep it at 6 o'clock, my friends. 6 o'clock in the morning, Monday through Friday, 8 o'clock in the morning, Saturday and Sunday. This old man's got to sleep in just a little bit. Unless it's the weekend. Nobody needs weather and information that early in the morning. But a beautiful shot. So get out and enjoy this gorgeous weather. All right, time for the big announcement here this morning. Not quite sure how many of you have had a chance to get on my social media. If you didn't get a chance to get on my social media yesterday, big announcement this morning. As many of you know who have been following along, I continue to build the East Tennessee Weather Platform. Thank you to you. But every day I'm hustling. Go ahead, fill in the words. Every day I'm hustling. We're out selling every day. I'm building graphics every day. I'm doing social media every day. I'm producing the weather forecast every day. I built this studio 2 years ago, which is mind-blowing that this studio was being built 2 years ago. East Tennessee Weather is one of those platforms that it's been my vision for a very, very, very long time, where I finally got the opportunity to get some help to build this platform. And I've always said, listen, I didn't build this for me. I built this for you. And if you ever have any questions, comments, or concerns, please fire away. I'm not going to take offense to it. If there's something that you don't like, let me know so I can change it. Sometimes when you get involved with a business, as many of you may know, you kind of get tunnel vision sometimes. But with that said, I continue to build. So we've got, let's see, might as well throw it out there. I've got over 40,000 app downloads, continue to have a huge following on social media, continue to have a huge following on the website. The app gets 37 million touches a month, which is absolutely mind-blowing to me, and growing every single day. So for those of you that do have the app, I really appreciate you sharing it, which I know so many of you do, if you like the app with all of your friends, family members, and coworkers. Well, one of the other things I've always wanted to do, and last summer I was building that camera network before I really got started. I have a lot more cameras to install. We're going to get more cameras installed. But when I'm running the show by myself, it's really difficult to get out and drive an hour away, do a camera install that takes anywhere from 2 to 4 or 5 hours, and then drive an hour back and still get the platform updated throughout the day. So it's a little bit more difficult for me to get some of these cameras installed right now. But I'm still working on it, and we're going to find some good, solid, sunny summer days, or maybe some fall days where things are quiet, and I can kind of get my stuff done in the morning and then get out there and do that during the afternoon. But as I continue to build with the camera network, the app, the website, social media, one of the other things I've been doing is building my radio presence. And some of you may have heard me on the radio already. I have, as of 2 days ago, I have 18 radio stations. I have WLIL. I have WXYI, which is Wixie Radio. I have Wish, Rocks, Praise, Merle, WVLZ, WATO. And some of you may not know these call letters, WGAP, WKCE, which is Mid-Century Radio, WMTY, WFIV, DEH, LOD, Fox Sports Radio. I have Talk, and I have Joy 620, WRJZ. Okay, so I've got all those radio stations. Well, we've been working in the background, my friends, and I've just landed myself one of the biggest radio stations in East Tennessee. I used to partner with them years and years ago, so I might as well share it with you right now. I want to give a big shout out to the folks over at B97.5. I did radio for B97.5 over the years, over at the TV station. They have decided to partner with East Tennessee Weather. So you can now get my forecast 7 days a week on B97.5 with Ashley and Roger, and all day long from sunrise to sunset. You have no idea what this means to me and my business and my push forward to make East Tennessee Weather the #1 weather platform for us here in East Tennessee. And I'm not stopping here. I am not stopping here. If you have a local radio station that you would like me to get involved with, hit me up, mike@easttnweather.com. Let me know. I'll reach out to the radio station. But yeah, 19 radio stations and counting, and camera network growing. But there's a lot more coming your way that we're working on tirelessly in the background. And so stick with me. Stick with me. Like, share, subscribe. Go smash the subscribe to that YouTube button. Because there's some really cool stuff coming our way in the coming months. Gosh, humbled. Let me just say that. I am so honored and humbled that in just a year and a half, 2 years, that I've been able to come this far. But I wouldn't be able to do it without you. So thank you from the bottom of my heart. I cannot thank you every single day to allow me to be back into your homes, your cars, your businesses. Remember, I run a 24-hour weather channel. That's on YouTube, Roku TV, Amazon Fire. Got a lot more coming up with that as well. Got a new Roku update that's going to be coming out. That's going to be a little bit more involved, so you can get a little bit more data rather than just the 24-hour weather channel right there from your big screen in your TV. You can watch me during live severe weather coverage. Listen, I'm first on, last off during severe weather coverage. I'm here to help you out. Whether you want to come to my platform every day or just when the weather matters, it doesn't matter. That's my motto. This is weather when you want it, not when I want to give it to you, right? There's no such thing as scheduled TV. Did you know that I just posted this not too long ago? Let's see if I can find it real quick. Streaming TV is overtaking linear TV rapidly. So, let's see if I can get this on camera. I'll just put this on camera. Come on. Let me get this on camera. There we go. Since 2021, time spent with streaming is up 72%. Is that not crazy? YouTube being number one. You got Prime Video, Roku, all the channels I am on are right there front and center for your streaming pleasure. And again, like I said, a lot more to come. Again, oh, there we go. I live darts. I was on leagues. Dude, of course you were, Katrina. Of course you were. Thank you very much, Renee. I really appreciate it. So thank you for sticking with me. Thank you for joining me here this morning on Wake Up with Witcher on this good old Sunday, June 29th morning. I sure hope you have a great day. Be safe. Be kind to each other. As I say, life is short and it's going fast. I'll see you back here for Wake Up with Witcher tomorrow morning, 6 a.m. We're keeping 6 a.m. Monday through Friday. Until then,